Hey everybody. So things took a turn for the worst. Um, Yesterday and Friday were my grieving days, unfortunately. On my Thursday appointment, there was no heartbeat. It was devastating. I was in shock for a little bit. My mom was there, my baby daddy was there. We all noticed that there was no heartbeat as soon as she started, the nurse. And I immediately said, I don't see a heartbeat. She said, me either. I didn't take offense to her comment. I believe if I didn't say anything, then, the doctor would have come in and give me the news. But because I knew what I was looking at, I think it made a difference in whatever way. I was severely devastated. Today is more of that empty feeling. Weird things like I don't feel hungry, unfortunately, but I did get a chance to do some grocery shopping today. And I have the potential to start binging because I am a binge eater. I also wanted to continue the nutrition plan that they had me on. I did lose 5 pounds in a week, so that was incredible to me. It's really taking a toll on everybody. Everybody in our families, both sides, knew how much we wanted kids, and it was like the best thing in the world. And it was cut really short. I lost baby A at 6 weeks and baby B at 11. 11 weeks is when it starts looking like an actual baby, and I didn't want a picture of the sonogram. I didn't want to look at it at all. Baby daddy did, so he asked for a copy, and I said, yeah, it's okay. And then towards the end, I was like, you know what, print me the picture, and I didn't even look at it. I just handed it to Larry right away. I didn't want to look at it. But eventually I did, and on Monday, the day after Mother's Day is coming up, I'm getting a surgery to remove the remains of baby A and remove baby B. I chose this option because the other 2 options are far too traumatizing for me. I know I've mentioned about the bleeding I've been experiencing this whole pregnancy. And today, one of my friends had a couple of miscarriages, and I asked her if there was a difference between the smell of miscarriage blood and period blood, and she said yes. And so as soon as she said that, I was like, oh my God. It was a miscarriage from the start. I just want to stop bleeding. That's another reason why I chose the surgery. I wasn't sure how to tell my family. It kind of felt like I needed to. But my mom's like, you don't have to. And I spoke with my therapist yesterday, and I let him know, like, I felt like I needed to tell everybody, but at the same time, I'm like, I don't really want the attention, you know. Everybody wants to be there for you and this and that. And all I really want to do is isolate, which is my go-to, being depressed for pretty much my entire life. So this has a potential to really do some work on me. I am glad that I've been medicated for a couple of years, and it really helps with PTSD, depression, and dissociation tremendously. But I'm in the process of grieving. I'm not sure what to expect from now on, as far as, you know, the grieving process is concerned. I spent time with baby daddy that Thursday evening. I didn't want to leave. And even though I knew there was nothing that I could have done, nothing that miscarriages and things like this have nothing to do with the mother, have nothing to do with anything like that. It's something that's out of our control. It happens on a DNA level of the child, you know, sperm and egg. So I did my best not to blame myself, like remembering all that I learned. And I learned this like some time ago, right? Like, was it foreshadowing? I don't know. But I can't help but kind of blame myself, you know? I was saying I'm sorry to everybody, like, as if I did it. Today is baby daddy's worst day. He fell apart today, blaming himself and things like that. So posting today, I kind of just pressed play. I don't like being the center of attention. We all like attention, but something to this degree where it's just like a lot of news, you know. I don't want the sympathy, I think. I don't think I want the sympathy. There's nothing anybody could do or could have done. I feel so numb. I told my son, I let him know that the sonogram appointment didn't go very well. There was no heartbeat. I let him know that on Monday, while he's at school, I'm going to have surgery to remove the babies. He was a little bit in shock. You could tell in, you know, the face, shock. Followed with the question, so no more babies, and I said no more babies. And I think it's kind of interesting that a couple of days before that appointment, 1 or 2 days, I had really wanted to, you know, have not a serious talk, but definitely a serious subject, and just tell them pretty much I'm sorry for the things that we don't mention, and it's not because we don't talk about them, they just don't come up. So I kind of mentioned it at the same time I mentioned the news, and he kind of just giggled about that part. He's like, I love you, Mom. Kind of grateful that the surgery is happening quick, and they're not making me wait, which is nice. But I did forget that I actually have an appointment with my psychiatrist. Or a nurse practitioner. She gives me medication, so is she really a nurse? I don't know. But we do have an appointment with her on Monday at 11. So I'm gonna call Monday morning, call the office and let them know, like, I won't be able to make it. If we can just reschedule for the next day or something. See how that goes. I'm going in for the pre-op in about 9:30 in the morning. Surgery is going to be around 12 in the afternoon. And then I should be home soon after. It's an in and out surgery. But I am going under. Feels weird to say that. They're going to anesthesia. On that Thursday night. I don't know if I told you guys, but I believe in the unseen, the spiritual realm. I don't believe there's a God. I don't know where that word came from. If you know where it came from, go ahead and educate me. But I think on the psychological level, the brain tries to connect dots so that we can understand. And I think God was a product of that. And in reality, there is no God. It's just the process of life, or the cycle of life. I don't know. I do experience things, so both outside of me and inside of me. Still trying to figure that out. Anyways, I say that to say Thursday night, we went, me and my partner, baby daddy, whatever you want to call him. We went to Circle K just to kind of, when things like this happen, you really don't know what to do, at least we didn't. Went to Circle K just to get some fountain drinks, just walk around. And immediately when he walked in, he's like, I got goosebumps. So, like when you feel a presence around you. We're at the fountain drinks, and a grandmother was there with, I believe, her 3 grandchildren. And there was a little boy, no more than 3 years old. He looked identical to my partner, Larry. Like, identical. I've seen baby pictures of Larry, and it looked... Oh my God, it was like I was looking at Max, baby B or A when that baby passed away. And then to hear that grandma call him Max was just like... I think I just stopped everything I was doing and was just watching the child. Like, we were definitely visited. We were definitely visited by our first baby. So. I don't know what to say, but I feel like if I press stop, I'm gonna start thinking about everything. My partner's having a really bad day today, and I woke up extremely irritated today. My dog had an accident in the kitchen, and she's in Dina very frequently, which is not normal for her. You know, when she needs to go to the restroom, you ask her and she gets, like, yeah, or she goes to the door and, she'll be like asking to go outside. So it's very unusual for her to have accidents. She really got on my nerves today. And I really wanted to clean. But just everything was just irritating. Like, oh my God, it's too much. Just too much. Oh. I think this is a stress yawn because I was not yawning before I pressed play. Ugh. I don't have our first sonogram, which shows baby A and baby B. I have a picture of it because Larry wanted it, and I was like, sure. And, it just wasn't on my mind to ask for a copy or anything like that. He really wanted it, and I didn't budge. I was just like, okay. But I did take it a picture and posted it on Instagram. Everybody was so excited. But I do have a picture of our other baby. And I put her on the wall. And I look at her and say, I'll see you on the other side, And now I really want a tattoo that says that. See you on the other side. Both of us have plenty of family on the other side, as well as beloved pets, Probably have aunties and uncles up there because I know my mom had similar experiences before me and my sister were born. I bought myself, I think it's 12 protein shakes. I think it's called Core Power or something like that. They're low carb, zero carb, zero sugar, very low. And I got those because they're basically a meal replacement, especially right now. I just don't feel like eating. I just don't. And I know earlier I mentioned the binging, and it definitely comes in when it comes to like pastries and chocolate and stuff like that. I don't know what to say. Maybe I'll be back after Monday, you guys. Wish me well.